Welcome back to Soccer Unscripted, the podcast where we dive deep into the world of soccer from every angle. Whether you're a seasoned fan or just starting to explore the sport, this is your go-to space for all things soccer. I'm your host, Daisy Vigueras, and as a lifelong soccer enthusiast, I'm here to explore the conversations, debates, and moments that make this sport so captivating. Today, we have a truly special guest, one of the most respected trainers in the soccer world. He's the founder of EST Football, a mastermind behind the development of elite players, and a key figure in shaping the next generation of pros. Not only does he train top-tier athletes, but he also knows what it takes to win at the highest level. Having claimed an NCAA national championship with Cal State LA, his impact on the game goes beyond the pitch, influencing how players train, think, and elevate their performance. Get ready for an inside look at the mindset, dedication, and work ethic it takes to compete at the highest level. Let's welcome the man behind EST Football, Arvin. Thank you so much, Arvin, for joining me on Soccer Unscripted today. It's a pleasure to have you. So I first want to ask, what inspired you to become a personal trainer, and was this always your career goal?
So yeah, first and foremost, thanks for having me here. It's a pleasure to be here, and I've been communicating with Arvin for a while now, so the timing is aligned, and we're excited to be here. And to answer your question, I grew up training majority of my life, and training and improving and soccer development was something that I was obsessed with growing up. And before trainings, after trainings, and day off from team trainings, I would always be on the pitch, always trying to improve, always trying to get better. And it was never something that I thought I would get into. I would always I was always with this perspective that once I'm done playing soccer, I'm going to be done like training as well. But it's crazy how life works itself out, because I wanted to be a professional soccer player, and that was like my ultimate goal. But that didn't work out, and now we train so many professional soccer players. And everyone would always tell me, like, this is something that you're going to go down, and this is the path that you're going to have after playing. But I didn't believe it, and now we're here, and it's been amazing.
That's great. And what inspired you to start EST Football?
In college. In college, I was already doing a lot of like trainings by the community we had created. And in college, I was a freshman at Cal State Dominguez Hills, and there was the captain's trainings before preseason, and I was always running those trainings as a freshman, and I was helping the upperclassmen just run the way that I thought training should be. And like one of the seniors one time like made a joke of like, oh, we're doing the EST training today. And then that's what everyone started to call it. So EST Football came about that. But we had built a community of over 120 soccer players back when I was in high school. And that started in middle school when we were just always trained together. And there was a point where I didn't have anyone to train with. And that just started to grow. And then a couple of my teammates would come out, and we just built a very cool community around training. And that has blossomed into what it is today.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like EST Football is like a family, a great community that you've built. So what would you say is the core philosophy behind your training methods?
Just with sacrifice and dedication, that anything is possible. And I'm a living testament of that. I went from someone that didn't have the most talent to becoming a national champion in college soccer and the NCAA. So just with that type of knowledge that I've gained and perspective of the game and the way I saw it, I feel like myself and the team we have around EST Football can provide to the youth of America in the soccer aspect, and just continue to like help the future generations grow and become the best possible like player, but as well person that they can become.
Yeah. And how would you say you've seen EST Football evolve since you first started it?
Oh, in so many ways. So I started EST Football when I was in high school. And it wasn't called EST Football, obviously, but like I started training players while I was in high school. And it was like very new because it's a different challenge than playing. But it's evolved from training like 5-year-olds to now we train a lot of youth players, but now we also train a lot of professional players, and the realm of players that we train have like changed a lot, because like mainly our focus is on like serious players at every age, but players that also want to be there and want to work with us and want to become the best they can possibly be. So yeah, therefore it's changed a lot, but this was always like the route that we were kind of pushing for.
And you mentioned training professional players and a lot of youth players. So how would you say you tailor your trainings for youth players versus pros?
Yeah, a lot of the standardizing of like sessions and the way we tailor sessions is quite similar in a sense, because obviously you got to talk to players of different ages in a different way, in a different tone, but like our ideas and methodologies are like very similar, because we want to take everything that we've learned, like playing at the levels that we have, and teach like even like a 5-year-old that will come in and teach them details and teach them like the way to approach the game and how to make decisions under pressure and how to like see the game in a different lens, but also have fun with the game. In our staff, we have national champion, we have professional players, we have other college players, and we have a great team that we've built. 2 professional players, a college coach. So we have a mixture of everything, and just to like pass on knowledge of what we've gained.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like you have so much success in EST football, and obviously with that comes challenges. So what challenges have you faced in building up EST football?
Yeah, there's been many challenges, but like the way that I like to think about it is that challenges are always part of like things that you want to do, and to achieve at a high level, you have to also wish for things that you want, but also wish for all the negative things and the challenges that come with it. But those make you stronger and make you more wise and give you more knowledge. And I would say the biggest challenge that I could think of that comes to my mind is when I tore my calf in a professional session with the center back of the Portland Timbers, Zach McGraw, and Alvaro Quesada that played for LAFC. And there was another professional player there as well. I like stepped in to make a pass and I tore my calf in that session. And I had other sessions to do that day, and I was the only one that was like part of EST football as a coach. And I tore my calf, and we had so much demand going on at that point. So it was after that, I feel like that was like our biggest turning point, because I realized that one person can't do everything. And we brought in one of my very good friends, Ricardo Martin, into EST football, and that was when a lot changed and we shifted as a company. But also a challenge we had was like field space and training at the park versus training at a facility. There's also like scheduling conflicts, because we have so many sessions going on every single day, and like just growing and doing the right thing every day, and like just learning how to manage players, how to manage different coaches, how to communicate with people. It's all been like a part of a challenge, but it's been good because we've learned and it's helped us grow.
Yeah, definitely. It sounds like you've pushed through those challenges and grown through them. So if someone wants to train with EST football, what should they expect?
You're coming into an environment where a lot is expected from you. And like I always like to tell the players, you're not coming here to get just touches in. And if that's what you want, you're coming to the wrong place, because like we want to help everyone that like comes and trains in our facility, help them become the best possible player they can become, and explore different like aspects of the game by just working hard and learning different things about it. So I would say just expect to work very hard and to learn.
Yeah. And we actually ran a poll on Instagram asking which personal trainers we should interview, and you were the top choice. So why do you think so many people wanted to hear from you?
It's probably because like we haven't done something like this yet, and we have such a big community around EST football. So I'm sure there's like a lot other players and people can learn from like our journey so far.
And in your opinion, what are some of the most notable players that you've had the opportunity to coach?
Yeah, this is a quite difficult question, because we've trained just so many very, very talented players. And just to make it a bit easier myself, let's just start with the teams that are kind of nearby. And I think just because we're so close to the Galaxy, You start with like the first team of Galaxy. We've worked with a player named Tucker Lepley, and he played for UCLA. We had an opportunity working with him, and a player that recently signed with the first team, and his name is Axel Asenge. We had an opportunity to work with him as well, which is great. He's one of our good friends. We've also had the opportunity to work with Jalen Neal this past offseason. He was the center back of LA Galaxy that just won the championship. But like the day after our session with him, he got transferred to Montreal Impact. And it's another big player in the soccer world. And now if we're shifting to LAFC, we also this past offseason had an opportunity to work with Eric Duenas. And now he's playing for Houston Dynamo. So those teams, those professional teams nearby, those are some of the names that we've worked with. Throughout the MLS, we've done sessions with Lucas Bartlett, another top center back in the league. We've also like one of my good friends growing up. We used to train together while we were playing in college. Zach McGraw was one of the first MLS players that we regularly like worked with, and it's amazing to see him go on and like what he's been able to accomplish with his career. Robert Castellanos on Sporting Kansas City. We've worked with him. We've also had the opportunity to work with Tony Rocha, and he won a MLS championship with New York City FC. He was one of the first MLS players that we had opportunity to work with. And yeah, all of these guys have brought value to EST football, and they've definitely helped us get to the point that we're at now. So just super thankful for everybody, and we've had the opportunity to lace up and bless the field with some special people, and it's been just a great experience.
And with such a great list of so many amazing and talented players, is there a specific training session that stands out to you as your favorite, and what made it memorable?
I would say it's so hard with that as well because we have so many amazing training sessions. The one that like really comes to my mind and like one of my favorite sessions of all time has to be the session with Christian Pinzon, and he's playing for Las Vegas Lights and played for Chivas for a little bit. One of the most technical players I've had a chance to play with, but also like train and help become like a better player. So being part of that session, I know Heldon was part of that session as well, and if just the vibes and how good it was and the energy was awesome.
Sounds like an amazing session. And with EST football, on average, how many players, both youth and pros, do you train daily?
It ranges. I would say on like the lower end of the spectrum, probably 15 players, and it could go up to like 40 players in one day. And in the off season, we probably have at least one professional coming in every day.
Sounds like you guys are very busy throughout the day and probably throughout the week. So what's next for EST football? Any big plans or future goals?
So we just launched our app. Now we have an app on our app store, which is called EST Football. The sky's the limit, and there's a lot of things that we have in mind, but we just want to keep it as the sky's the limit for now.
No, that's amazing with the new EST Football app, and everyone should go check it out. What mentality separates good players from elite players, and how do you help your athletes develop that mindset?
It's just the pursuit of always wanting more and like being proud of what you've done, but like you're just never content and you just always want more and you're just relentless about it. But like there's levels with everything, so it just ultimately depends on like what level you want to get to. So that your mentality is a big correlation to that. And what I've noticed with players that like are playing at higher levels is just they're never satisfied, and they every single day it's like they have something that they always want to prove themselves. And that's something that I also learned in college is like you kind of want to have a thought process of like a machine-like system, and like not really let emotions too much into that, so you can always like do what like logically is the best thing to do. And a lot of the most successful soccer players that we've had a chance to work with have that mentality, and they always want more.
It was such a pleasure having you on the podcast today. You've given some great insights, and it's so amazing to see how you've grown with working with just your college teammates to now working with all the professionals and amazing players that you've listed. So thank you so much, Arvin.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks for kicking it here with me at Soccer Unscripted. I'm your host, Daisy Vigueras, and this is The End of the Game.